What's up, bro? So I've just been doing some deep journaling, and I think we're gonna drastically change the things that we're doing here. So this channel, this unfiltered channel, I'm loving it. Literally, this is like 10 out of 10 fun for me. Recently, I've just been recording with my phone as I go about my day. I don't need to set up the camera. I don't need to like prepare anything. I literally, if I'm here, I'm outside, whatever. As soon as I want to talk about something, I can whip my phone out. I fucking love that. The main channel you might have known is kind of going more like spurgy and edited, and you might have like complained about it a little bit, and you're thinking like, wait, I don't like the main channel. You're not supposed to. The main channel is no longer for you. I've been doing some like very deep thinking about this. I just asked myself this question. This would be interesting as fuck if you ask yourself this question as well. I'd be so interested to think what you answer. What will life look like for an 18-year-old young man in 2027? So in 5 years' time, what will life look like for the 18-year-olds then? And I wrote a lot of stuff. This sentence here is quite nice. Our hard times create strong men will be the battle against instant gratification. I've journaled about so much stuff, about mental health, about suicide, social connection. Everyone's going to be lonely. Stimulation's going to be fucking huge. Asking like all these problems, what can I help solve? And what was so interesting, this might seem off topic, but what was so interesting is that I wrote the black pill will grow. The black pill is kind of like this ideology, this mindset, this belief that dating, sex, and intimacy and love are incredibly hard to get unless you have like the right genetics for it. And I wrote this down, right? That the black pill is kind of like, right now, the black pill is kind of like what the red pill used to be like a few years ago, where it was hated, it was underground, it was silenced. I'm not becoming black pill, and I think taking away like a man's hope is a sin, but it will grow. The new generation of men will probably be a lot more black pill than we are. And then I wrote so much more as well about what solutions we can do to that. It's dark. I wrote about how to give a young man more hope. And I imagine some 18-year-old young man who's watching this video or who's watching like the main channel, what his problems are, what his desires are, how can I attract him and help him? And I realized video games is a huge part of this. It's the part that I can at least help a lot in because I've been like a full-on video gamer and now I don't play video games at all. And once you've taken a huge step back from video games, you realize how manipulative they actually were. That your ability, your desire, your drive to level up as a young man gets stolen from you and put into the video game that you're currently addicted to. There's so many deep thoughts. Then I thought, okay, can I mix this together? Because a lot of the young guys who play video games, they're 18 years old, they feel very lonely, socially and romantically. And they don't have much hope. They've given up hope. They haven't even considered it because they've been addicted to video games for so long. But they do have such a huge desire to procreate. And so I thought, okay, who's the main channel for? I've made so many changes. Like if you're watching this video right now and you've watched like all 4 minutes so far, you probably are like a little bit, you have mixed feelings towards the main channel. Chances are you kind of like me and you kind of like watching my videos and everything, and you maybe get, some advice, some wisdom, some value from the main channel. But you have also noticed like the editing's a lot bigger. It's a lot more like cartoonish. It's me. Maybe it's not like as much as it is like valuable as it used to be. And I've been making it go more and more extreme, and you don't even see like the plans that we have. Honestly, we've been doing like some work behind the scenes right now. When it unveils, chances are like my current boys who are watching this, your friends, you'll critique it a lot and you'll say like, no, I don't like that channel anymore. I'm expecting that. But again, I don't think that channel's supposed to be for you anymore. Because I see the main channel now as like the vehicle that we can pick up the guys who don't know about self-improvement. Because I want you to picture right now like an 18-year-old guy, he's just finished high school, and he is living that life of like the video gamer. He wakes up, plays video games, hops on Discord. You can like literally just visualize him in your mind. We make fun of this guy. Maybe you are him, maybe you've been him. He's the one who needs our help, and what's so beautiful is that he's the one we can significantly help. What's that guy want more than pretty much everything else? Which he probably won't have the confidence to admit it, but what does he really want? It's not so much to quit video games. He probably doesn't want to quit. But his desire for improvement, growth, leveling up, and that's what he puts into games and achievement and brotherhood. A lot of that is just related to like our natural animalistic desires. It's like the stuff that we've always wanted. Video games really can manipulate and take that drive away from you. But I think this young man probably wants more than everything. It's like a stereotypical 18-year-old. He's horny as fuck. He wants a relationship. He wants like a gamer girlfriend. It's almost like the black pill is mixed with like video games and a lack of intimacy. And video games like steal your hope. It steals your desire to improve. So it's like, that's the mix. So I wrote this down, that it's video gamers that we want to attract. It's the kind of videos that they would watch. Talking about the games that they play. Like one of the videos that I'm going to make is like why I quit playing RuneScape, why I quit playing Minecraft. I think that this is the next chapter for myself, my team, the channel, and for our movements, to like specifically focus on like video games as a problem. Of course, we're going to talk about instant gratification in general because there's just so many different stuff that we do. But it's video games that really sap the life out of it seems the majority of young men. Porn as well. If we can convince a generation of young men to take a step back from video games, to take a step forward into nature, exercise, meditation, reading, journaling, we would literally change the course of the future. Because I don't know about you, but maybe it's my own selfish benefit, but I don't really want to be friends with video gamers. And I would like there to be more men who have taken a step back from that and taken a step forward into self-improvement. It'd be awesome to meet more people like that. As we grow up, you're probably a similar age to me, as we grow up, we're going to become fathers. And you're going to wish that your child has some like-minded friends. Aren't you? What if all of his friends are playing video games? So the main channel isn't for you anymore. The main channel is specifically for video gamers. So much journaling, man. I wrote like 10 pages down. I'm interested. What do you think is going to happen in like 5 years from now in terms of self-improvement and like the problems that we try to overcome in self-improvement, like instant gratification stuff? What do you think? Mental health is going to get worse. Stimulation is going to get worse. I asked myself this very, very interesting question where I wrote down, all the things that I think will happen. Like stimulation is going to get worse. Porn is going to get more stimulating, and video games are going to get worse and everything. Junk food is going to get worse. So I wrote, okay, pretty much every instant gratification thing is going to be more significant, just harder to manage. And I asked myself, okay, well, this just means that things are going to be leveled up. Is there anything that's going to go from 0 to 1? That's what I'm totally interested, because if you can be the one who gets this idea and you implement it, bro, you could literally become a billionaire. Is there going to be something that goes 0 to 1? So what I mean by that is like saying that mental health is going to get worse. That isn't a 0 to 1, because that's like an incremental change, isn't it? Saying that video games are going to become more stimulating, porn's going to become more stimulating, food's going to become more addictive. It's like that's like not a 0 to 1. That's just a little bit more of an incremental positive change, right? Is there something that's just doesn't exist right now that no one's talking about, that's suddenly going to be like a big thing within 5 years? Because it's easy to say like, oh yeah, stimulation's going to get worse, everyone's going to be addicted to more addicted to video games and social media. Is there going to be something brand new? That's so interesting, because bro, if we can think about that shit, we can be on the ball, and we can like start preparing mentally to try and help the generation which go through like this random new problem. So I started writing it down. If all problems like mental illness, instant gratification addiction, the sexual marketplace being cutthroat get more severe, what totally new problems would arise? I wrote, weakened society invaded by the barbarians. It's kind of hard to explain it in like a short way, but like when a society gets weak through instant gratification, through just indulging in pleasure, that's generally when that society is unsafe. But we in our modern lives, like, we're young people, we've never really truly experienced like an invasion. We've never truly experienced like a war. Of course, there's some countries who have went through war in the last 10 years, in the last like couple of months, but chances are you might not be from those countries and you've not seen it like firsthand. And so it almost seems like a very distant reality of something that like isn't even real. There's a possibility, because history seems to repeat itself, and the countries that dominate don't stay at the top. The second one I wrote is huge loss of productivity. Innovation stops, countries' wealth drops, countries go into massive debt. That's an interesting one. So if mental health gets worse, instant gratification addiction gets worse, we might see a huge drop in productivity and like the production of your country's value. Then I wrote underneath that allows the opportunity for other countries to advance. These are quite big, like societal level changes. But then I asked myself, okay, what about for the individual? What about inside of the individual? His mental health is going to get worse. His addictions are going to get worse. He's going to be more depressed and like black-pilled and hopeless. What totally new problem could arise in the next few years, which he isn't feeling right now? I couldn't really think of any. I could think of what would be increased or decreased, but like I'm talking about 0 to 1. So I wrote, what would be increased is potentially more crime. Crime has been quite low in our lifetimes. It's like it just keeps dropping and dropping and dropping. Perhaps there could be a spike of that when people have less to live for. Unemployment is the same thing as like lower production. Then I wrote, huge split in society. Loneliness will increase. This is where it gets interesting. There will then be a huge need for virtual intimacy. So I wrote, virtual intimacy market / business will blow up. Porn, VR sex, maybe even like prostitution, like in real life, maybe like in the metaverse or something. This is when I wrote, the black pill will grow. Imagine in 5 years' time, 50, 60% of men are incels, maybe more. I mean, technically like 80% of men are incels right now, if you really think about it. Just there is like a good percentage of men who've got like hope and everything. What if that number goes up to like 90%, 95%? One thing I wrote as well is that women will drop out of the sexual marketplace as well, which is something that I've not really seen many people discuss. That we kind of say like, oh, it's just bad for men, and women have all the power in dating and stuff. More and more women will drop out of the sexual marketplace. More and more women will literally just not want to date, and they'll get like VR boyfriends paying like Ethereum to get like fucked in like the metaverse or something like that, right? More like it's completely acceptable and like normal for a woman to have like sexual toys and everything now, which you can kind of understand why, because women are competing for like the best men. And so there's got to be like, there's actually a big chunk of women who now are becoming more and more aware that like they're not able to obtain the level of men that they want. It's a very, very sad reality that we're pushing forward. And I'm really like, I'm picking my brain to try and think, okay, what can we focus on? This lack of like intimacy. But one thing, I'll be honest, like, you know, I'm thinking about this in terms of my own sort of like business, my channel, like, okay, what can I make specifically, like what can I make videos for on, and like who can I make the videos for, what type of person? And I've not wanted to make like specific like dating and like black pill, red pill videos, because I personally just find them cringe, and I also feel like they don't really help that many people because it's too like, it's too underground. You can never get to like 10 million subscribers with a black pill or a red pill channel, because it's like it doesn't appeal to that many people, it doesn't help that many people. But good wholesome advice, imagine targeting like a video gamer and telling him that he can make progress in life, and that what he has to do is take that same drive that he has to level up in video games, but then start putting it into real life. And with that, he will become more and more attractive to women. That's why you're seeing on the main channel where the editing is just like hyper stimulating, because I'm trying to attract those guys who play video games. I'm trying to attract the kind of guys who go onto TikTok. They're not going to watch a video like this with 16 minutes in. If you've been paying attention so far, you've got to understand, you literally have to understand this. You are in the top 1% in terms of attention span. Genuinely, if you have watched 16 minutes of me just talking without me screaming and shouting and editing and like, you know, just memes and all this shit, if you just watched this long, you have a very good attention span compared to the modern day, like the modern man, the modern woman. The type of people we're trying to help, the type of people who need self-improvement the most, aren't watching self-improvement videos, are they? They're the ones watching Mr. Beast videos and like, you know, just random YouTube video compilations and stuff, World Star Hip Hop compilation, twerk compilations and shit. They're watching that. They're watching TikTok. We have to bait them in with a video that they will actually click on, and then the video has to be engaging and stimulating enough for them to actually be able to like sit through it. Otherwise, they're just going to click off and they're going to watch something else. I've recorded this video like 3-4 times now, and I don't even know which version to post, because I'm certain that this is the way forward, but I'm just like, I know this is the way forward. The main channel has to attract people who aren't on self-improvement. They're the ones that need our help the most. It's just what I'm uncertain about is exactly what type of person, like exactly what niche, what like one characteristic about that person should we really target? Should it be that like he's horny as fuck and he's searching up videos on like how to date girls, how to get girls or something? Potentially. Should it be that he's not even thinking about self-improvement or thinking about like relationship videos or anything? He's literally just watching his normal like video game, like he's watching like Minecraft tutorials or something. Should we try and attract him, someone who hasn't even really signed up for self-improvement? On one hand, we could say like, no, don't try and attract someone who doesn't really want your help, who hasn't really asked for it, which is true. But that the guy might not even know that self-improvement is a thing. To him, going to the gym, lifting weights and like, you know, building muscle and everything is like, it's quite, it doesn't process in his mind. Like, he doesn't even understand the process of that. He doesn't understand what that really means. He knows about like going to the gym, and he's went twice with his friends, but he doesn't really know that it's like something you can do consistently and you can literally build like a muscular body. He doesn't really understand that process. Because when I was 17, I didn't. When I was 16, 15, just playing video games, I genuinely didn't even realize that you could make like a difference in your life. Like literally just the choices that you made determined what your life was like, because I was consumed by video games. What type of person should we focus on to try and help as many young men as possible? I'm thinking it should be video games. I've made videos on the main channel, even on this channel, about like all sorts of things, about like degeneracy and drugs and social media and porn and everything. And I think video games is that one which is like, it's kind of like a big blanket over young men in general. It's like just like the majority of young men seem to be addicted to it. Yeah. Really interested to see your thoughts. Am I going on the right direction here? One thing is for certain, that like this channel, this unfiltered channel, is staying like this, where it's literally just me talking. It's going to be a lot more just like personal, with me just holding my phone and not preparing scripts or anything, just kind of like letting you into like what I'm thinking about and random like advice that I have for you. I can't even express like how grateful I am for this channel and like the kinds of people who watch these videos, because you're a lot more like mature and educated and sophisticated than the people who are watching the main channel, which it is an insult to them. It's just you're further on your self-improvement, which is awesome to see. But I've been loving this channel the last few days, just being able to record on my phone, not have to like set up my camera or anything. It literally just feels so like I'm talking to a friend right now. I fucking love it, man. Give me a kiss, bro. Mwah.